This week we have the pleasure of featuring the perspective of one of our brilliant followers. Whether you agree or disagree with our perspective, we love hearing your thoughts and sharing them whenever possible. This week we feature Hunter Moon, who's a fan of Edmund Burke just like us, and he was going to share his thoughts concerning the true nature of conservatism. Welcome to the project, Hunter.
Thank you, TBC. This week, I would like to answer the question, what is conservatism? In a day and age where modern conservatism has been dominated by classical liberals like Rand Paul, the populist-minded supporters of Donald Trump, and traditionalists like Ted Cruz, it is not so clear for the average American what it means to be conservative. So how then do we define what authentic conservatism is? To do this, we must look to the two men who helped to formulate conservative ideology. The first man is Edmund Burke, the British thinker and politician who founded the ideology in response to the actions of the revolutionaries in France. The second is American political philosopher Russell Kirk, who refined and built off Burke's ideas in the 1950s and 60s in response to the growing liberal movement in the United States and to the growth of communism in Europe and Asia. One of the core tenets of classical conservatism is the promotion and adherence to Christianity as the moral fabric of a just civilization. In his reflections on the revolution in France, Burke argues that Christianity is the foundation of a civil society. In addition to this, he felt that it was the moral laws of God that were the source of most rights, as he argued that rights are the auxiliaries to laws. Burke argued that in a godless society, man would devolve into his natural corrupted state, and that by promoting the Christian religion, the overall welfare of society will improve. In regards to Kirk, in a 1992 lecture, he argues that without Christianity, Western civilization cannot survive. He went as far as to argue that the reason abortion and suicide are rising in the West is the abandonment of Christianity as a moral fabric in favor of secular moral relativism. One accusation that classical liberals and progressives alike make towards classical conservatives is that they are opposed to any change whatsoever. As noted earlier, Burke was a fan of change provided that it corrected the errors in society, such as corruption or injustice. Such changes must be consistent with the values of civilization. One such example would be the civil rights movement of the 1960s, as the movement reflected both the Christian belief that all humans are equal in dignity and the Western value that all humans are equal before the law. He also believed that such change should be slow and organic, as to prevent such change from resulting in societal unrest. This same view is reflected in Russell Kirk's 10th point of conservatism. He argues that without progress, society can't grow and will stagnate, and thus progress is required for the welfare of society. However, he condemns the liberal notion of embracing all change in the name of progress. Rather, he advocates for change that takes into consideration the aforementioned morals and values, and doesn't come at the cost of them. He also argues that like a change within an organic system, it should be slow and implemented over time. As you can see from this description I've provided, classical conservatism has a philosophical and intellectual foundation in the writings of Edmund Burke and Russell Kirk. Their work establishes an intellectual framework that rescues conservatism from sheer emotion as well as nostalgia, and at the same time, they keep conservatism anchored in religious tenets that many conservatives share. To ignore the Burke-Kirk foundation, as many conservatives sadly do, leaves the movement without the depth it needs, but to embrace them provides the strength and maturity that conservatism needs to be successful, not only as a political force, but also as a robust intellectual methodology.
What do you think of Hunter's interpretation of Edmund Burke, Russell Kirk, and the definition of conservatism? Let us know in the comments. And if you've got thoughts concerning this or any of our other posts, let us know on Facebook or by using our Connect page. Next time, it may be you that we feature on the BurkeandConservative.com.